Hi, my name is Jordan Lee, and I am a graduate student at Liberty University, and this is my Interpersonal Communication Plan for HSCO 508. The agenda for my plan includes an introduction, description of my behavioral blend, communication barriers faced with others, my goal and strategies, implementation of my plan, and summarization of main points. About me, I was born in Lawton, Oklahoma, into an Army family. My nuclear family is small, including my father and younger sister. My mother died 2 years ago, and it was a difficult adjustment for me. I'm a single Caucasian female whose belief in Jesus is central to who I am. I am people oriented and enjoy playing golf as a hobby. I received a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Central Missouri in 2020 and will receive a master's degree from Liberty University in Human Services in May 2023. I enjoy going to school and understand that my working with people will be both challenging and rewarding. McCormick 2016 defines interpersonal communication as a dynamic form of communication between two or more people in which the messages exchanged significantly influence one's thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in relationships. This definition has four implications. Interpersonal communication is dynamic and is constantly changing over time. It is involved at least two people and it is transactional, with both people contributing to the meaning of the message. Interpersonal communication creates an impact by changing participants' emotions, behaviors, and relationships. It fills our basic human need to belong. Barker 2014 states that people talk not only to signal who they are, but who they would like to be. Carbonell 2008 defines our behavioral blend as a term associated with the DISC personality assessment for determining one's unique profile. This helps me understand why I feel and think and act the way I do. Carbonell 2008 defines the DISC as an acronym for D dominating and decisive, I as in influencing, C as in competent but careful, and S as steady and dependable. The disc represents personality traits as either people or task oriented while describing us as active or passive. My uniquely you profile characterizes me as both a strong S or C. Being confident appears to be more privately driven than publicly driven for me. Uniquely you profile 2023. I exercise discipline thinking rather than being so obviously cautious and calculating. I am more adaptive in both my public and personal life. My profile describes me as someone who is perceived as intelligent and knowledgeable, but also kind and caring. I am a good listener, considered more passive than active, and I feel uncomfortable in public speaking. My negatives, such as my fear of failure, are countered by the positives. I have fine tuned my listening skills, patience, and trustworthiness. Memetrix Academy 2018. Peterson 2022 defines communication barriers as obstacles to clear messaging between individuals. Barker 2018 discusses how cultural differences like attitudes, beliefs, and norms can cause confusion in the analysis of what is said. I am aware, as explained by France and Weckel 2020, that clients can experience fear and anxiety about losing control over their decisions. Cultura No Date discusses how proximity or haptics, touching, can have a cultural implication. Proximity can reflect both caring and aggressiveness. Which one am I communicating? Peterson 2022 talks about how overwhelming screens of all sizes are for people today. Online conversations have given a new but confusing dimension to interpersonal communication. My goal for my interpersonal communication plan is to become an affiliative communicator for working with veterans and their families. As part of a military community my entire life, I have strong empathy for veterans and their families. Room Garancy and others 2022 describes affiliative communication style as one with strong empathy, trustworthiness, and increased goal achievement. This style decreases feeling of uncertainty. By developing my affiliative style, emphasizing positive outcomes, and having a voice that reflects those positive feelings can help improve my client's mindset. Schultz and Basinski 2015 stressed the importance of incorporating shalom, which translates into justice and peace achieved through positive relationships. Berger 2014 talks about how to find common ground with others in our interpersonal communication. I have common ground with these veterans, and having experienced deployments, I understand how difficult it is to manage with a parent absent for months at a time, as well as having to make new friends and adjust to new environment. Berger 2014 discusses emotion sharing that reduces loneliness and prevents social rejection. Just sharing a positive story can increase the chance that others will feel better. Peterson 2022 gives good guidance for listening. Number 1, listen first and talk second. Number 2, most people think they listen well but don't. Number 3, as the talker, I own the problem. Number 4, as the listener, I am calm enough to hear. Number 5, 3/4 of good counseling is just good listening. My Christian worldview just directs me to communicate with God through the scriptures and prayer. Schultz and Basinski 2015. A scripture that provides me with God's direction is Titus 2:7 states, "And you must be an example to them by doing good works of every kind. Let everything you do reflect the integrity and seriousness of your teaching." Teen Life Study Bible 2007. Implementation. Peterson 2022 describes his talk listener card, in which the expectation for both the listener and the talker are listed. It is like a foldable third person. It is such a simple but powerful approach to a conversation, giving solid direction for the implementing my communication plan. The plan includes, number 1, remember that listening can be dangerous to our opinion. I must be open-minded and not prejudge. Number 2, recognize that if I increase my empathy, genuineness, and warmth, I can sharpen my technique. People really need to know I care about them as I listen. Number 3, understand that everyone gets healthier, happier, and more confident around therapeutic people. For me, good listening is more than a skill, it is a gift. Barker 2018 tells us that nonverbal communication is related to the meta-messaging affecting how I say things and what my body language implies. Active listening and being genuine are important in my relationships with others. 3 main points of my plan. Number 1, I can attend to reality as God directs me by listening. Schultz and Basinski 2015. Number 2, I must listen in a way that encourages talkers to invite me into their lives. Peterson 2022. Number 3, I must create and cultivate an affiliative interpersonal communication style. Rune Guarancy and others 2022. In conclusion, I have learned that people will forget what you've said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. Interpersonal communication allows me to develop relationships that fill our human need for connection to others. Thank you for listening.